Connor wasn't a bad man. Not really. He paid his bills early, left generous tips for takeout, and always held the door for elderly people, even when they didn't say thank you. But even the decent ones, especially the decent ones, sometimes snap. It was the little things. The way his manager always triple-checked his paperwork even though he never made mistakes. The way his neighbor vacuumed at midnight like it was a moral obligation. The way his so-called best friend Malachi kept texting him bizarre AI-generated photos at all hours, thinking it was funny when it was mostly just weird. And then there was Betty. Betty lived in a faded brown duplex on Delaney Street, a part of town that looked like it had once tried to gentrify itself, but gave up somewhere around 2007. Connor made regular stops there as part of his job. He worked for the University of Winchester's Health Logistics Department, not as glamorous as it sounded. Basically, he was a glorified drug courier with a lanyard and a government-issued Subaru. His job was to deliver medications to elderly patients and homebound clients. Not glamorous, but it paid the bills and gave him a routine. He liked routines. But Betty disrupted his routine in every possible way. She was in her late 60s, heavy-set, and mean. Not the tough, no-nonsense kind of mean that can be admirable. Number Betty was the kind of mean that sucked the energy out of a room. The kind of mean that made Connor wonder if she sat around thinking of insults between deliveries. And the blinds. God, the blinds. Felician blinds. Those plasticky vertical slats that clacked in the breeze and tangled like fishing line. Hers were warped and broken, some bent like snapped rulers, others missing entirely, leaving jagged gaps that exposed her dark living room like a mouth with rotting teeth. Every time Connor approached her door, those blinds watched him, judged him. He had come at 12:04 that day. His route said 11:30, but Malachi had FaceTimed him earlier to show off a bizarre AI-generated photo of Garfield in a space helmet playing chess with Ronald Reagan. It wasn't funny, not even ironically funny, but Malachi laughed so hard, Connor couldn't hang up. Then the gas station line took forever, and then the traffic light near the laundromat froze on red for what felt like 10 minutes. He was late. It happened. Betty, of course, was waiting like a landmine. "You late. Again," she said, her voice like gravel soaked in vinegar. She stood in the doorway wearing a peach-colored robe dotted with grease stains and a pink towel twisted on her head. "This ain't Burger King. You don't get to deliver when you feel like it." "I'm sorry, ma'am," Connor said, holding up the white plastic delivery bag like a peace offering. There was traffic and some holdups on. "You always got excuses. You college boys ain't got no work ethic. Just lazy. I ought to call the school and tell 'em you was late again." He bit the inside of his cheek. Inside, her apartment was worse than usual. Dirty dishes piled high in the sink. Newspapers and junk mail scattered across the floor like autumn leaves. A mop bucket sat in the kitchen, but instead of a mop, there was a frying pan, its bottom black with soot. The smell of expired butter and microwaved sausage hung in the air like a punishment. Connor stepped inside. He needed to get her to sign the delivery slip, maybe snap a photo of her insurance card with the company app, and then get the hell out. Instead, she flopped onto her couch, turned the TV on full blast, and muttered something about government freeloaders. He held out the clipboard. "I just need your signature real quick." "You think I can sign something with my sugar low? You want me dead, boy?" "No, ma'am, I just..." "Don't you raise your tone at me." "I wasn't." "Boy, I could have you fired," she yelled. "Fired. Ain't nobody want a skinny little white boy coming around here acting like he God's gift to medicine." Connor's hand twitched. He wasn't angry, not yet, but something inside him shifted. It wasn't just her words. It was the whole atmosphere, the messy apartment, the yelling, the broken blinds still clacking in the breeze behind him. His stomach growled. He hadn't eaten since breakfast. He was tired. He was sweaty. His phone buzzed again, probably Malachi sending another dumb meme, and it made him flinch. Betty stood and waddled toward the kitchen, muttering about getting a drink of water before signing any damn thing. The whole place felt like a pressure cooker. And Connor felt like the lid.